Hello, Leo. Welcome to Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, Leo. It is Leo season. I think, right? It must be by now. I think tomorrow is maybe the beginning. It feels like it should be here, right? I'm over the wateriness of the last season. I need some fire in my life. Also, I love the Leo season. It activates my Venus and my Mars and my Jupiter. Can you believe that? And so this time for me is wild, powerful, one of, the heightened heights, right? And so I hope, you're on the same wave. I hope that this summertime, winter time, we're in the depths of the depths, the extremes of the extremes. And, not for nothing, Leo, but you all are pretty intense, aren't you? So I love being in Leo season. It also is right before my August Virgo season, which is coming up quick too. So we have the adjustment card tonight, right? All about kind of getting things in balance, taking it to court, right? Hopefully the star chamber where everything is forgiven. But yeah, we're in a place where we are, have to be in a discerning posture, have to be kind of, one eyebrow raised. We are taking in the info and we are figuring it out. We are in sleuth mode. That's what it feels like. So let's go ahead. We're going to turn this bowl here. We're going to see, what are the tea leaves going to tell us tonight? Oh, and you know what? Let me turn off my watch face. I know it doesn't reveal anything about my life, but I'm always worried that my location or my calendar pops up on there sometimes. And yeah, so anyway, sorry about that. Okay, let's see. We're going to lift it up and take a look. Now, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you, how much I love you. Thank you for being here. It's always such a huge pleasure for me and honor, of course. So if you want to subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have a prayer request or you want some energy kind of sent your way, I would be absolutely so very happy to do that. And also, let me just, we started some new channels here at the ULA/Dove and Serpent Tarot umbrella. Of course, most of them are named with the Dove and Serpent branding. I don't know. Dove and Serpent came first, obviously. My lovely husband, Paul, over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, he knows what he's doing. So we went with Dove and Serpent. But I am doing work on all of the channels, of course, like always. But I'm going to be in more content on Dove and Serpent Adventures. Now, we're working out how we want to do this. It's going to be more behind the scenes stuff of Paul and I, and the places that we go, the things that we do, our rituals, and some of them, not all of them. You'll see some rituals. But yeah, check it out. Now let's take a look. What's going on here? So immediately in the middle, we have the energy of Mercury. Yes. Yes. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. You can see up here on the head area, it does look like we have wings and we have birds kind of around. Now up here, it looks like we have volcanoes, and it also looks like there is smoke coming out. So we know that they're cooking. They're going. So something is happening in your life. It has already been going on. Some kind of conflict, something that brings you anxiety, something that maybe, I am so sorry. This is so terrible. So where I live is, I have property adjacent to a lake, okay? And there are so many mosquitoes, and they keep biting my scalp. And I can't put tea tree oil on my scalp because I get eczema. And I'm sorry, I'm talking about this gross stuff on my, it's not gross. It's just, listen, a lot of us deal with it. But I just itched a little mosquito bite on accident and it went off. It just now is itchy. So I'm sorry. So we have the Fool. We have the energy of something in the background is really building up. Not the Fool. Mercury. I'm sorry. Mercury. We have the energy of Mercury. Okay. And Mercury is the messenger of the god. Also, the patron of travelers, crossroads, and so many other things, right? Also very like a fluid emotional state. Somebody who could be very moody. This is what we call mercurial people, right? Very moody, shifting through, good, bad, I love you, I don't love you, all that kind of stuff constantly. Or we have somebody who is fluid and flexible, is, kind of like maybe not always super accepting of things, but will go with the flow, okay? I feel like you are really leaning into this energy. I feel like for you, whatever's happening, and I assume this is either work or family, because this is usually, the only two places where we will kind of stick around if things are getting, kind of, too much, right? When it gets to be so overwhelming, we don't always stick with our friends group if it's always drama, if it's always making us feel bad, if there's always, stuff popping off. Of course, we're not going to invest ourselves in a group of people in that way. But when we have family, most of us anyways, will put up with a lot more, sometimes more than we should. And at work, of course, we're just kind of conditioned to accept, right, that people are going to treat us poorly. Companies maybe will, do the same and so on. But, I feel like for you, there has been this very intentional, like you have looked at this thing and you've said, listen, I am not putting up with this any longer. And I am not letting it affect me on this deep level that it does. Right? I am trying different things, whatever those might be, maybe like therapy, self-work, healthy distractions. Well, sometimes unhealthy distractions as well, right? But here we are deciding in contrast to it all, I'm focused on building up my life. I'm focused on doing something to strengthen my interior, And I think a lot of people are waking up to the fact that, time is short. Time is short, The midnight hour is a tolling. Now, I don't mean this in some, nihilistic, apocalyptic kind of way, but things are always ending. What does that mean, though? Things are always beginning as well. And the world might not look like it used to, and it won't look the same. and it won't look the same. But I feel like there are a certain amount of people in the world, right, that are trying to remain open and moving, flexible, fluid, adapting. And I think that that is you. You are going to make the most of your circumstances. You always have. Listen to me, Leo. You have always done the thing. You've always figured it out. You have always come out on top one way or another. And you will here. Absolutely. I know it. Now, I want to look at, we have in the tea leaves, it looks like it says hello, and it's let me see, Hello, right over here. The O is way over here, but it says hello, okay? So I do feel like you have somebody that is really trying to contact you, okay? Now, it feels like maybe it's somebody who has transitioned. This is like a human being, not an entity of some other kind. I don't feel like this is something unhuman, right? Or like spiritual. It's all spiritual, but you know what I mean? Like some kind of macrobe or something. It feels like it's 100% a masculine energy. It's definitely a masculine energy. Now, I feel like this is somebody that really enjoyed like camping. We have a camper up here. Okay, so somebody who traveled like to camp. Maybe this was like a person that they took off to like go, climb mountains or hike in, national forests or whatever it was. It seems like this was like not just they waited for, summer to take a vacation and that's what they would do. I feel like this was their life, right? They were a traveling kind of person. So I think you do come from a family that maybe moved around a lot or like to travel a lot. There's less of a sense of home base. Like, I'm a Virgo, right? And I would say that one of our main goals as Virgos is like building that nest, really like building up our domestic life into our kingdom. Whereas I think for you, you're much more interested in having safe, clean, tidy place to rest. But I don't think that this is like the center of your universe. I think you are somebody who just is always wanting to leave. You know what I mean? You come into a room, you're at a party, you immediately just think, when are we going home? Or when can I like quietly, pardon myself? You go somewhere and you see the thing and you don't like to linger. You're not somebody that necessarily enjoys just kind of hanging about. There are things to do. There are people to see, places to see, and I feel like you are somebody who is constantly pushing forward. Now, this could be to a detriment at times, I think. I think that sometimes you maybe feel like you miss out, right? Like that you maybe haven't like settled down in the way that a lot of people, they couple up, they have some kids, they, hang out and just kind of do the life thing and work and raise families and, whatever that fantasy is, that dream that we've all been woven. And maybe you've thought, nah, I'm doing my own thing. But at times I feel like there's that tickle, right? That what if. We all have it. Most of us are like, what if I, did just travel around? What if I did just go camping and, do the van life and all that kind of stuff? So here's the deal, though. This kind of, and I don't think it's like a lament, but I do feel like, maybe feeling I've missed my opportunity, or maybe I, whatever. These little spells that we get into. The grass is greener spells is what we should call them, right? And I think you get out of it pretty quickly. I see you. Here is a chair. Okay, now we have the person standing. Here's the head and here's the body, arms. And in front of them, it looks like a globe. Do you remember a globe? Like the ones that they had at school and stuff, or like a fancy library or study or whatever. Just literally a diagram of the earth, right? And I'm acting like maybe you haven't seen this because, listen, I'm raising a 5-year-old, and I am amazed at the things that a lot of older kids even have never seen before. Because I'm older. I'm like an older parent. I'm about to be 40 here in a few weeks. And, my daughter's 5 or whatever. You can do the math. So we're a little bit older. And so the gap there is a little different. And I'm just like, there's no globes anywhere. I haven't seen one in one classroom, But listen, they have better stuff now. I'm just an old fogey. But anyways, I don't know. Some people maybe haven't seen them. I've learned a lot to not just assume that everybody has seen what I've seen, and that's just the truth. And vice versa. Maybe I haven't seen what you've seen. I learn things every day. I'm like astounded at how much I do not know. The older I get, the more I'm like, man, maybe I'm not always right. So anyways, I do feel this sense of, it's calling you again, right? Hitting the road, getting on with it. And so I feel like this person that, is really coming through in your life. And I feel like they really are like reaching out to you and trying to do so directly. And I think this brings in part of that desire to keep going, to keep moving, to keep seeing and experiencing and living, just absolutely living. And I feel like that's the goal, right? Some of us, we have these really like silly, complex, like, we over intellectualize our purpose, our meaning of being here. I have a sneaking suspicion that the reason we're here is some unutterable thing, some ineffable, there's no way to even begin to speak it into a language, right? And so, I feel like there's this sense of, it's like a come with me, find me, like the wind, it's like blowing over the land, and it's whispering to you, come with me, find me, come to me, come to me, come to me. And it's in the wind. Have you ever, listen, I live on the prairie, okay, the high prairie, and boy, if you've ever felt a spirit, these prairie winds, not just in the winter, they are trying to get in your windows. Any crack you have in the house, you can hear them whistling and singing to you at night. That cold tundra, that beautiful abyss. Well, even during the summer, in the grass. Early in the evening when there's a nice breeze and the grass bends, and it's at that place where it's kind of dry, and it just sings to you as it folds. And I believe that's where God is, you know, in these little moments, these places that we witness just pure beauty, awe, right? Light shining off of water onto the wall, dancing for you, letting you know that you're alive, you're beautiful. The world is beautiful. The universe is beautiful, you know. But I feel you being drawn out. Okay. Now, we do have the house here. We have the goddess. Okay. This is a primordial goddess. And it feels like almost kind of a activation of, well, your creative fertility. And I feel like you're in a place where all the things are coming together to allow you to maybe, well, look at this. I just looked over here, to get on a plane. Right here, we have a plane. To get on a plane, to do that thing, to get out there in the world. So things will align for you. Absolutely. I feel it. I feel it all coming together. And I feel that person around you. Now, there is something about a lamp. I don't know. Tell them about the lamp. I don't know about the lamp. I don't know what the lamp is. I think it's like literally a lamp. So if you know something about the lamp, this is your confirmation. This person coming through, your traveling person, your kindred spirit, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I wonder if I keep seeing that, what is that movie called? The one with the lamp that like has a face, and what is it called? I have to look it up. It was a movie when I was a kid. It was a cartoon. And it was really like kind of sad. They had that little dude, Blanky. What was it called? Oh, yes. Okay, so there's Lampy and Blinky. What is it called? What's the movie? Oh, The Brave Little Toaster. I don't know why, but that came to mind when I'm asking, where is this lamp? What is this lamp? At least show me a little something. Anyways, that came to mind. So I don't know if that's a reference to the age of the person, because sometimes I'll see stuff like media that surrounds the person because it helps date kind of the era that they maybe are trying to share with me. So we know then I'm seeing that this is like the late 90s. Okay, mid 90s maybe. Maybe this person passed away young, or maybe this is kind of the era that you were closely kind of experiencing being around this person. Maybe you were a kid at that age, and this is like, you know, I don't know, like a grandfather or an uncle or something, and this is like the era that you kind of got to know them in. And I'm just trying to share some of I'm like, let me explain the work here. How do I get to these things? It's complicated. It's like being in a labyrinth, trying to figure it all out. Now, we have a black cat, and we have a snake. This one looks like it is about to strike, okay? Now, we also have, it looks like the moon. We have the moon. So it looks like we have, again, the Hermes. The Hermes kind of energy here, okay? Now we have the snakes, and it looks like, I kind of feel like there's a sense of your resources. Now, if this is money, if this is emotional resources, spiritual resources, time, attention, whatever it is, somebody or somebodies, it seems like are circling. And I know that you feel it, and I know. And this is what really comes up for me is just like, I can deal with everything else, but if you mess up my money, oh, girl, we have a problem. Right? We can figure everything else out, but if you mess up my money, my ability to make moves, to do and live the way that I want to, that I need to, then we got a problem. Right? That's old school. I don't think people realize like how motivating it is when somebody messes up your money, or you know what I'm saying? So I feel like for you, there is a sense of knowing, right? You have envious eyes on you. And what do we do when we have that energy in our lives? Right? We strengthen self, right? We close ranks. We circle them wagons. Although I don't like that. I shouldn't say that metaphor. I am Choctaw after all. But you know what I'm saying. Something is lingering on the outskirts. And usually it is, right? And usually it is. But I know that you feel that this is something that needs to be cut off. And it will be. You'll take care of it. I know you will. I don't think you're very worried about it, but it is there, and you know it, and you feel it, and you know who it is. Or maybe you don't exactly, but you will. And this won't be the last time. You know why I know? Because you're talented. Because you're doing something. And if you are doing something with yourself, you are miles ahead of most people. But you know what? They love to sit around and stew in their own misery. They love to sit around and tell you, you should do this, you should do that. Oh, it'd be better if this, it'd be better. Oh, you should have, would have, could have. Honey, what are you doing? Show me what you have that's going on. What have you created? What are you doing with yourself? Why are you sitting in a posture of hate, jealousy, envy, when you could easily just be doing something for your own dang world? Wasting time, worried about what other people are accomplishing. You're swimming in the poison, mama. You're swimming in the poison, papa. And for a Leo, that's like, wipe the wipe the dirt off my shoulder kind of energy. Right? People are wild. People are wild. And if you get a strong person around somebody, like that, you get somebody who's doing something with themselves, they are not going to like you. They might actually at the core really have a great affinity for you and your abilities. But there's garbage coding, right? It comes out. The output is jealousy because something in there, the wires are tangled, crossed, cut off, who knows? So I see you on that miss me with that energy vibe, right? Okay, here we go. We have number 24, our first lucky number. Our second lucky number is 77 and 48. 48. Very nice. Now, we're going to end with our Wild Offering Oracle cards, and I'm just going to flip through, stop where it feels right. There we go. And it says intention. Intention is simply allowing the will and the mind to align and move in harmony. May I always focus on the highest. My intention is that all God's wishes for me come true. My intention is that all the universe's wishes for me come true. My intention is that all the divine's wishes for me come true. All right, Leo, I love ya. I love ya. I love it. Love that. Oh my goodness. Did you just hear the spring that popped out of my ear and hit the wall? So anyways, I love you. I love you. I love you. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, I want to say, please take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. I love you. Happy birthday. Good night.